Hi, YouTubies! It is, in fact, me, Zachary Michael, also! That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. I had to do something to change the subject because the Twitch girlies were being disgusting. Absolutely disgusting before you all got here. They were sitting there talking about poop. They're talking about sticking clove oil in your booty hole. Y'all, they need Jesus. No, what they need is to be locked in Dr. Kinberry's barn. And they're about to be. No, not today. We're watching Frank Tufano. Y'all remember him? I think I have like 1 or 2 other videos about him, by the way. So just go search for him on my on my re-upload channel. I just want y'all to know, I don't know what's going on with Frank Tufano. I don't know shit about fuck. He sells some meat on the internet. Just locked in a barn Jamie, in the chat, actually bought some like raw honey or something from him at some point. She said she got it in the mail. She was surprised to get it in the mail, but it did show up. I said, Jamie girl, why didn't you get some meat? I want to know about the meat. I want to know about the meat. Yeah, she got vanilla honey. The vanilla honey. What do you know about raw? This is so raw, you guys. Fuck! Does anyone know what's going on with Frank Tufano? I'm not sure. I'm not. But he does have all 3 of his most recent videos are all interestingly titled in a way that I would be interested in watching them. And so I'm kind of curious now Twitch chat, don't let this go to your head, but I'm preparing to give you all an option of these 3 videos. Don't let it go to your head, okay? Don't let it go to your head. But I'm gonna make a poll, and I am interested in your opinion just this once. Don't mess it up for the future. Actually, I was interested in your opinion yesterday when we were trying to determine if Carly was funny. Chat decided Carly wasn't funny, in case the YouTubies missed that. They decided she wasn't. So that was chat, not me. I would never say that about Carly. Which video should we watch? Illuminati agent Paul Saladino ruined my family? So that's the first one, Illuminati agent. Day in my life after being botched? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm typing the poll as I read these out to you. And then the third one is free-range meat vlog.
Love my cream of wheat.
Sorry, the question was as business nut. Funny, and you're a coward who won't poll if I am funny.
Yeah, I think everybody said you weren't funny, Carly. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the bits. Okay, wait. And the last one is free-range meat vlog, the only non-elite small business. Okay, free-range meat. So you got 2 minutes to vote in this poll, divas. Colin sent it to me and I found it delightful. Okay, Wauma's little film was funny. See, that if I had to vote on whether Wauma was funny or not, I would vote yes. I don't know what the chat would say, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Ooh, okay, we got a close call. 27 to 21, 27 to 23. And four votes for free range meat vlog. Turns out Paul is a YouTube doctor? Oh my god. So you do not recall me saying I'm buying low on business nuts? It's literally appreciating in value. No, I do remember that. I do remember that. It was inspired by Carly, so she gets the credit. Well. 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 Okay. I guess she did that one thing. Carly did her big one, y'all. Carly did her big one. Carly did her big one. Clock that tea. Let's watch them all. Well, there's a world where we could watch them all. Maybe not all of them today, but there's a world where we could watch them all eventually. There is, especially because it seems like it was a close call. We got. Should we do a re-vote so the 4 people who voted for Free Range Meat Vlog can vote for whatever? Or should we just go with Illuminati agent? Let's just go with Illuminati agent. Why is this so gross all the time? I always discover that my phone case needs cleaned out while we're here on stream, and I always do it on stream, and then it always needs it again. I kind of want a new phone case though. I should Ford Focus is what I really should do. That's what I really should do, but all his vids are sad, low-key. I voted for Illuminati because that's the only one I haven't seen. Oh, okay. Okay, alright. First time chatter from somebody named FunPRN. Hey, guys. Alright, we're gonna watch the Illuminati agent one. What is this down here? What is this from Wikipedia? The Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious. Historically, the name usually refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, an Enlightenment-era secret society founded on May 1st, 1776, in the Electorate of Bavaria. Oh, you're an RN? What does the P stand for? It's giving fun porn. What's the P and PRN stand for? Pediatrics? You're a pediatric registered nurse. Fun PRN equals as needed. Oh girl, I don't know what that means then. I'm confused. I feel like I understand less now. The P stands for Paul Saladino. You know what? You're so right. That's the perfect transition. PRN is an instruction for taking meds. It's a medical term for as needed when dosing medicine. All right. I'm there with you now. I got you, Diva. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. All right, let's go learn about Paul Saladino. So yeah, basically it's not what I thought it was, which is the most important thing. So if y'all are ready, oh my god, there's so many chapters on this. If y'all are ready, could y'all? The rat is back. This chapter's called The Rat is Back. Could y'all put some 69s in the chat? Have we done that yet? He looks scared. Are they out to get him? I think everybody's out to get him, is my understanding. My understanding is that lots of people are out to get him. Y'all, should I get a new phone case? This one's given old and janky. They are out to get him and lock him in a barn. I don't think Dr. Ken Berry is here. Everyone's against him. The Amish, Alibaba, the people that didn't let his Wagyu beef come in from customs. Exactly.
The Zach 116, the Zach 119.
Lynn Delmar, thank you so much for resubscribing with Prime. Let's get two. On that note, let's get two.
So a lot of you guys are always asking what happened to my.
We're gonna speed him up a little bit. We're gonna put him on 1.25. All right. So a lot of you guys are always asking what happened.
My family and these gang stalkers, these people I keep referring to as the elite secret society members, have, I guess you could say, successfully ruined my life, even before my face was.
I have him turned up everywhere. Is he better? Is it better? Is it better?
Completely botched. This guy Paul.
I'm too loud. I can turn myself down. How about I turn myself down a little bit? I turned myself down a little bit. I have him turned all the way up. How about that? Perfect. All right. Let's try this again.
So a lot of you guys are always asking what happened to my family, and these gang stalkers, these people I keep referring to as the elite secret society members, have, I guess you could say, successfully ruined my life, even before my face was completely botched.
Also, his, like, no shade to him, his face looks okay to me. I understand that for him, that's a different story. But, you know, I don't know.
Guy Paul Saladino hated me so much, he kept serving my family court papers and kept pulling these LLCs and...
Dear Frankie, a court processor tried to serve us a subpoena from Paul Saladino, which we refused. He left it outside on the screen door handle. Just forward this to your lawyer. So sorry this happened, but I wanted you to have it ASAP. Fight the fight. It says to Frankie and then also says me up here. Did he send this to himself? Who's up subbing their pina? Not their subpoenas. Wait, did we look up who Paul Saladino is? A psychiatrist? An American psychiatrist and health influencer who promotes pseudo-scientific claims regarding human health and diet. He doesn't sound great. He doesn't sound great. What, is he on the YouTubies? Paul Saladino. You're taking creatine wrong. Here's how to fix it. Why I changed my mind on saunas. Okay. You're being lied to about fish oil? 4 ways to reduce microplastics in your body? Girl, we're all filled with microplastics. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Why I wouldn't take glycine before bed. Okay, this guy sounds real fun. He sounds like a who. So wait, why does he care about, why would Paul Saladino care about Frank Tufano? I fear Frank is giving me a lead for a video. You gonna go down a rabbit hole, Colin?
And sending all these legal documents to my parents' house, which should have been enough grounds for dismissal of the lawsuit, you know, harassing a party's family, but these corrupt lunatics are trying to get away with way too much. And they've been doing this to me for years and years and years. You guys are witnessing in real time, it's happening right now. We're still in the process of it. It hasn't completely happened yet. You're witnessing in real time how these elite secret society members, Freemason, Illuminati, use the court system to steal from and shut down any competition. In this case...
Girl, what? Your freezers don't work. Girl, your freezers don't work. Worry about that first. Make sure your meats are the proper temperature first. Then we can talk about if you got competition or whatever.
Being the truth. So, if you want an idea of how evil this guy Saladino is, some of you might remember when I donated $33,000 after my surgery to blind people. I took out a line of credit. I gave away $1,000 to 33 different people. That was around 2 years ago now. At that time, he had his lawyer write this letter to the court.
Why are you taking out lines of credit to donate money? Like, I mean, I think that's very kind, but why are you taking out lines of credit to make donations to people? That doesn't make any sense to me. And also, how did you get approved for that? How in what ways is like a credit agency like, yes, we're gonna loan you this money that there's no way you're gonna get back because you're literally giving it away?
Court decision still hasn't been made yet to this day. He wrote this letter to the court telling them to make a decision before I give away the money, before I donate money to blind people. So me saying that Paul Saladino wanted to steal money from blind and disabled people, that is a factually correct statement.
But wait. a few things. First of all, is this a real lawsuit? Like, if I search up Paul Saladino lawsuits, will that come up? Oh. Paul Saladino is currently involved in a lawsuit against Frank Tufano and Frankie's Free Range Meat, LLC, for trademark infringement, false advertising, and defamation, with a significant development being the plaintiff's motion to vacate default judgments against the defendants and the defendant's subsequent motion to vacate the default judgment. Additionally, the defendant filed a third-party complaint against the plaintiff's attorney, David Lynn, on June 3rd, 2025, alleging issues related to indemnification, contribution, or subrogation. It's apparently a real thing. Okay, well, so here's my thing. My thoughts are then if they were in a legal battle where money is on the line, usually what I would assume is that usually, like, when you're involved in those kinds of things, you have to say, like, how much money you're making. Like, you have to talk about, like, what assets you have and stuff. So I would guess if Paul Saladino's team saw that Frank was getting ready to donate a bunch of money to blind people, maybe perhaps so that he didn't maybe perhaps so he didn't have it, like, on his person in his accounts or something. I would imagine that Paul Saladino's team is like, can you put a stop to this? Because if we win this case, we want his money because he infringed on our trademark or whatever. Isn't it smart not to talk about it so you don't incriminate yourself? Yeah, I'm not really sure why old Frank is on the YouTubes talking about all of this. Where does the Illuminati come in? It sounds like Frank thinks that Paul Saladino's in the Illuminati. I mean, if I've learned anything from Miss Darlene Michaud, it's be quiet. Be quiet, Tiffany! I have never yelled at a girl like this. But no, when Darlene was in her lawsuit, she shut up. She shut up real quick once she realized it was actually going to be a lawsuit. And now she's getting that money. She's getting that money now.
How crazy can you be? And you can look this up on the court docket. He had his lawyer write a letter to the court saying that you need to make a decision.
He ate. I'm sure that's some legal term, but he ate.
Decision on this case because he's giving money to blind and disabled people. Of course, the judge didn't buy any of that, but he did issue an unlawful judgment which violates my amendment rights. It's legal misconduct. It doesn't abide by the rules of the court or any of the statutes named in the case. And I can't really explain things in as much detail as I'd like to, but I will read the judgment and then my appeal to this judgment, which I filed last week. And I believe I already...
there was a judgment made in this case? There was a judge... I really want to... I wish I knew more about law. I wish I knew more about law so that I could read some of these, like, dockets and stuff, but I don't know shit about fuck, you know? I don't know shit about fuck. Wednesday, June 11th, 2025... Order dismissing case. Having considered the Pooley factors and finding they weigh in favor of dismissal, it is hereby ordered that this action is to be dismissed without prejudice for failure to prosecute. The clerk of court is directed to close this matter. Am I looking at the right thing? Oh, this is Tufano v. Saladino. This is Tufano v. Saladino. Okay, so this is Frank's case against Saladino got dismissed this summer. Oh my god, you can go look at all of this stuff. Verbal order reassigning case. It is recommended that the plaintiff's motion for leave to proceed in form of... those are a bunch of Latin words, I don't know. Girl, I don't know. Let's just keep listening to what he's got to say. The judge said the girls are fighting. Dismissed. Zach's higher ed law class popping out. Listen, did I ever tell you that? That's a whole different story. I was taught higher ed law by actually general counsel at IU at the time. He taught our class, but then he had a co-teacher who worked in the student ethics office at IU, and lots of stuff ended up happening with that guy in particular, like lots of bad stuff. And I was like, this man literally taught me higher ed law and was literally breaking the law at the same time. It's crazy. That's a whole other different story, though.
Similar video to this, so I'll just add the stuff that is new. And the only reason I'm doing this again is because I'm allowed to say his name. I just have to be careful what I say.
Yeah, so what do you got to say?
Order of default, ordered, adjudged, and decreed that plaintiff, Paul Saladino, is hereby entitled to and is granted a judgment of default as to each and every claim as against each named defendant, Frank Tufano and Frankie's Arrangement LLC, on the issue of liability. Ordered, adjudged, and decreed that defendants shall forthwith or within reasonable amount of time permanently transfer the domain name to plaintiff. Ordered, adjudged, and decreed. So I owned the domain paulsaladino.com legally and was using it to show videos on my YouTube channel legally, but he was...
Wait, that's what this is about? What? Wait, Frank, what? Frank, why would you own paulsaladino.com to show your videos? Of course he's gonna be upset that you're using his name to show them your videos. Please, this is just like Scientology naming websites who is Leah Remini and shit. Yeah. That... Frank's like, I owned it legally. Well, sir, that's also his name, and you're also using it to be misleading. You're potentially getting traffic because of his well-known name. That's at least how I interpret it.
Able to steal this domain from me. that defendants are enjoined from making public statements referencing that plaintiff copied, plagiarized, stole, or otherwise improperly used defendants or any other third party's work, engages in dishonest practices in connection with his business, trade, or profession, abuses prescription or illegal drugs, improperly or illegally manipulates social media posts, or engages in any inappropriate sexual activity. So that's basically violating my freedom of speech. But now I'm not allowed to talk about any of the events that factually happened to me because this judge is corrupt.
What? Frank, what? Also, if you have an order out there saying you're not supposed to be talking about any of this, why are we doing it right now? Freedom of speech is when it's the government. You can't just slander people. Exactly. Is the judge in the Illuminati also? No, the judge is just corrupt, but the Illuminati takes advantage of corrupt judges to get what they want, is I think his argument.
Ordered a judge and decree that defendants are directed to forthwith remove and delete all of the defamatory videos on defendant's YouTube channel related to plaintiff as further set forth. Ordered a judge and decreed further violations of my First Amendment freedom of speech.
So he said, I'm just going to make another. He said, a judge told me not to do this, but I'm here to just make another video. Why the fuck not? Am I understanding this correctly?
And then they said, we have to schedule a hearing on assessment of damages. So everything about this judgment is wrong. The default judgment was never served on me. It was served on my parents' house, and I should have gotten into that earlier, but basically all the legal paperwork going to my parents' house, them getting involved in the lawsuits, they became very distressed and on psychiatric medication. I got kicked out of my childhood home I had been living in since my whole life. I got kicked out of my home.
What?
And I had to move out, and
What does that have to do with this? Why didn't this just go into YouTube complaints? I think this became a lawsuit because literally Frank bought the domain name Paul Saladino to redirect people to his YouTube channel, which, like, other things that I think are really fair about this is that, like, he makes similar content, right? Like, some of his content's literally about, like, eating the right diet and doing, like, eating carnivore, doing this, that, the other. And so people looking for Paul Saladino might be thinking, like, oh, this guy's somehow related to him because they talk about similar things, you know? So that would be my thought behind why all of this happened. He's acting like his parents got served just because the mail went to their house when it sounds like he was also living there. That part, Colin! That part, that is also so confusing to me as a concept. Cause what do you mean you got kicked out of your parents' house, but you weren't there to, like, what?
I mean, I've kind of never been the same since, but I kept it off the YouTube channel because it doesn't really matter. These people just censor and shadow ban me, and
you kept it off the YouTube channel. What do you mean? It's right here.
And no one wants to help me, and I haven't been in contact with my family for a few years now, all because of how these people treated myself and my family, and you know, I'm able to take the stress, and I'm able to understand what these people are doing to me and not let it get to me, but that wasn't the same. It wasn't the same case with my parents, and they're both still currently under psychiatric treatment and taking all these drugs they never had to take before. So it's very upsetting what these people have done to me, and because they own all the social media platforms.
You're saying there's a group of people that have put your parents on psychiatric meds? All to, like, win this court case or something? Sup, big dogs? Hi, Jesse Penn. Sup with you. Sup with you. First time chat. It seems legit. Sounds legit.
They'll never get exposed for it, because if people did know the truth, all of these people would be canceled off of social media. You know, how evil is it that these people, Paul Saladino, his lawyer David Lynn, all these other people behind the scenes have done this to me, because all I did was speak the truth and try to defend my own work.
What do you mean? That's not your...
So yeah, that default judgment...
It's not your own work if you're using his name. Sorry, that's one hell of a greeting of mine, huh? A lot of people in my chat are not saying "sup, dog," but I like it. Thanks for being here. Zach, I genuinely think he's mentally unwell. I mean, I fear that could be the case. I fear that could be the case. For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly something going on. There's certainly something happening here.
The judge ordered. I never received the actual paperwork from the lawyer. It was sent to my parents' house, which I was kicked out. I no longer resided there, and the court accepted that affidavit of service, which is perjury. So
where did the affidavit go? I don't know. You tell me, Frank.
Oh, there should have been no default judgment in the first place. And the lawyer still cannot prove that he never served me the default judgment. It still, to this day, has never been served, and they have no proof that I received that paperwork, yet the court is still going along with this. So that should have been enough grounds to dismiss the entire case. A second issue is that the entity, Frankie's Strange Meat LLC, has no subject matter jurisdiction. Should never have been included in the case. No legal basis for including my business in this case, and that should have been dismissed. Another reason to entirely dismiss the case. Third issue.
Wait, why shouldn't it? Something tells me he probably has that LLC attached to his YouTube channel. And if the whole point of this, like, I would just guess, because I know a lot of YouTubers, like, have an LLC to run their money through or whatever, like, to run their payments through. Does that make sense? I'm not wording that correctly, but you get it. And so I imagine if you're using the website, to redirect them to, like, YouTube videos or things like that, then I would imagine that's probably part of it. Is it possible his parents are upset because he asked to borrow money from them to fund his lawsuit? Girl, I don't know. You're really reading into it. I don't know that we can infer why his parents might no longer communicate with him.
All these statements, these public statements that they consider defamatory, are not. They're factual, they're my opinions, and this is directly violating my freedom of speech. And now the YouTube video being forcibly removed also damages my business and all those factual statements I was saying at the time.
Oh, so it is connected to your business then.
And then the fifth problem is he unlawfully took this domain name from me. As I said earlier, I wasn't violating any trademark laws. I was not advertising or conducting business on this website.
Does he have a trademark on his name? Paul Saladino trademark. What? Well, this doesn't say. I don't have access to that. Okay, this is just bringing up when I Google that, it's just bringing up more of the court case stuff. I was just trying to see, like, perhaps he has his name trademarked? I don't know, Diva. I don't know. Don't ask me.
I was exercising the same freedom of speech that I was in these videos on that domain name.
Wait, so, did he, Daydreamer, did he really say they're factual and my opinion? Those two things are very different. Opinions are not facts.
This guy's lawyer, David D. Lynn, and all the people involved in this court are complete, lying, corrupt, secret society members. I mean, they're just doing their job. They're defending their own. They've sworn oaths. These people, to join these secret societies, the first thing you do is you swear an oath to secrecy, otherwise you will be killed. That is the very first thing you swear when you join these secret societies.
And
who's this?
You're made to understand that you're putting your hands on this huge, it's like a pulpit Bible, you know, big.
Now who the fuck is this? No, who's this guy? We're all about to be on a list.
King James Bible. And this guy comes forward, this worshipful master, and he says, you
I
know,
don't like
we're going to
it.
lead you through this oath.
I don't like
And
it.
I'm not going to go through the whole oath. It'll take like 5 minutes, but it's this long, involved, and ultimately blood-curdling oath.
Can I be honest with you all? Illuminati shit kind of freaks me out. And I've been freaked out about it ever since this, like, very sweet RA coworker of mine, who I still love and adore to this day, but I thought she was crazy for sending me this video. She said, Zach, can I be honest with you? I'm concerned about how much you like Lady Gaga. I watched a video and I want to share it with you. And it was a video on YouTube about how Lady Gaga is a part of the Illuminati. And I watched too many videos about it after that. I kind of went into a deep dive and I'm like, this is creepy. This is weird. This is not for me and my family. But also, here's the thing about the Illuminati, okay? Here's the thing about allegedly, it's like much more rich and powerful people than whoever this Paul Saladino guy is. Like, if it's real, I don't think some random health influencer named Paul Saladino is in the Illuminati. I don't know. Maybe they'll take me down tomorrow. If something happens to me, it was them. Not to quote Chantal, but yeah. Yeah. It's like the Rockefellers, not YouTubers. What if Saladino is Lady Gaga? I don't think so. I've never seen him in the same room, but I would guess probably not.
At the end, you say, you swear, the essence of the oath is to keep the secrets of an entered apprentice mason, which of course I'm violating right now. And then at the end, you swear that if I should ever reveal the secrets of an entered apprentice mason, that I swear that I will have my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots, and buried in the sands of the sea where the tide ebbs and flows twice in 24 hours, should I ever knowingly violate this, my entered apprentice obligation. So help me God and keep me steadfast in due performance of the same.
And I guarantee you, all of these judges, these people in power, these people in positions, are members of these societies where they hold.
Oh, he said, I'm gonna put all of their names. Wait, wait, did he really? It says Frank Tufano, plaintiff, versus Paul Saladino, Jeffrey Davis, David D. Lynn, White Plains Lodge number 473, the Illuminati. What? He's out here suing Beyonce?
That take precedent over the court. So this guy, David Lynn, he committed perjury in the initial default judgment. He claimed other business income was mine. So he goes and gets all these documents from PayPal and Shopify and other LLCs, because I'm broke. He cannot find any legitimate information, any legitimate bank account.
I'm broke. That is continuously Frank's story if this is your first time watching.
Or anything that shows I made money, because I didn't. So he goes and takes all these other companies, all these other financial documents, tries to link them to me. I show it to the court, and the court pretends like he didn't do that. And LLCs separate assets, and they're just mixing all stuff together, which is like him saying, "Oh, Google made $5 billion this year, so we need to take the money from Frank Tufano." It's so blatantly ridiculous, and another reason for them, enough grounds to dismiss this case. So
I don't think I fear they're not making the argument that Google made a lot of money, so we got to take it from Frank. Because also, if you really are broke and they're bringing up these other businesses that aren't yours, they're not gonna get that money from you. Then they're gonna get it from those businesses.
Ridiculous list of legal malpractice, court misconduct. There's probably over a dozen legitimate reasons they could have dismissed this case. And on top of that, them, ruining my personal life, getting me kicked out of my house, which also resulted in me losing my job in New York. I lost my salary job, which was how I actually made money because my business wasn't profitable. All of that stuff is called tortious interference, and the judge hasn't seemed to care. I filed multiple different lawsuits. They're basically, this is how they steal money from you. They file a lawsuit against you. The judge does not let you do anything. This case has been going on for 5 years, and out of the, I don't know, there's over like 100 notes on that docket now. The hundreds of decisions that have been made by the court, not one of them was in my favor. Not one of them.
Well, if you're wrong, if you're wrong, Diva, that's kind of just what's gonna happen.
Not one, and that's so they file the case in the court against you. Most people haven't been able to defend themselves as well as I have. They don't let you do anything. They deny all your motions. They deny everything you say. They blatantly lie. They don't follow their own rules. They commit perjury. They file this thing through the Latham Act.
At least Frank has Jamie's bankroll in his meat company. Jamie gave him $20 for some honey, Divas.
Which is about trademark infringement. He never even registered a trademark. They don't follow their own rules. If you even bother to read them and find out that they're a bunch of liars. And then they just push it through, get the denial. They're trying to push this judgment against me and then try to go and collect any personal assets that I have, which is completely crazy in the circumstances of this, as I've done nothing wrong. So,
I do also just still feel so confused why he thinks he did nothing wrong with the original issue, which is just that, like, he used this guy's name to set up a website to redirect people to his videos where he talks about similar things that Paul Saladino talks about.
This is the case filed United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. We actually filed this back in May, but the court didn't accept it. They said there was like a filing error, and they never notified me. This is what they do, you know.
Is Frank represented by anybody? Does he have a lawyer, or is he doing all of this on his own? It seems like he was saying since his assets are in an LLC being sued personally, they can't access that. It's not his money, but it is. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend like I understand everything. It just sounds like he just is wrong. I just checked the docket. He's doing it all on his own. Oh my god. Wow.
Deny your documents for BS reasons. They say there's filing errors and a whole bunch of nonsense, and then they don't notify you of it. So they were pushing that case through for several months before I figured out that I had to refile this appeal.
Well, part of me is like, maybe if you were an actual lawyer or had an actual lawyer representing you, you may be more aware of like what you did wrong.
So that video that some of you guys remember me talking about this, I had to refile it again.
I won't, you know, the thing that I will say, I used to work at a law school, okay? And to some extent, like, the law system is extremely complex to make it difficult for people to understand how to navigate it. Like, I do feel that way, and that's why lawyers make a lot of money, because they're trained to understand how to navigate it. So I will say that, but but also, yeah, I don't, Diva, this doesn't seem like a good idea. None of this seems right.
So we spoke about this. The proper service for the initial default judgment wasn't made. Frank Tufano's First and Seventh Amendment rights have been violated, freedom of speech, and I haven't been given a jury trial. Malpractice by both lawyers and violation of the court code of conduct. You know, none of my lawyers helped me, and Saladino's lawyers crooked as hell.
Y'all said he doesn't have lawyers, though? He just said none of my lawyers helped me.
Committing perjury and committing fraud with the subpoenas without suffering any consequences. Plaintiff's claim for money damages is fabricated. Yeah, they're just making stuff up. They never lost any money because no one really saw my videos besides my own viewers, because I'm shadow banned and censored. And this guy Saladino, now he's got, what, tens of millions of followers? And I have the exact same amount of followers that I had several years ago, so. This is another thing I recently added. Plaintiff's claims should have been dismissed under anti-SLAPP law. So, strategic lawsuits against public participation are lawsuits filed to silence critics by burdening them with the cost and stress of litigation, even if the claims are without merit. So, New York Consolidated Law, Civil Rights Law, for the purpose of this section, an action involving public petition and participation is a claim based upon any communication in a place open to public or public forum in connection with an issue of public interest, or any other lawful conduct in furtherance of the exercise of the constitutional right of free speech in connection with an issue of public interest, or in furtherance of the exercise of the constitutional right of petition.
Girl, I don't feel like I understand what he's trying to make a point with the SLAPP laws, but I do want to read what Wauma said in the chat. She quoted, "No one saw my videos except my viewers," and then said, "Sounds like people saw your videos." Exactly. That's the thing, yes. Is he allowed legally to speak publicly about this? In the UK, if you're involved in an ongoing trial, you're not allowed to talk about it to your family/friends, let alone on a YouTube video. Well, Diva, he actually did mention, he read earlier where he received an order that he was like supposed to take videos down, he wasn't supposed to talk about it, and he claimed that that was an infringement of his First Amendment right. So, we should have watched the botched one. To be quite honest with you, I'm fascinated by this. I don't regret this. I don't regret watching this. I think it's fascinating to understand him better. I feel like it's fascinating to understand him better in the context of like, we just been watching his meat shit, you know? We just been watching his meat shit. Forest Fruit, hey Diva. Thanks so much for rating. Hi. We're just watching Frank Tufano. Hey.
Forest 134 Algebra Forest 134 Algebra Forest 134 Algebra Forest 134 Algebra
134 Algebra Forest. Thanks so much for 63 months. Who the fuck is a Frank Tufano? This guy, the Illuminati agent Paul Saladino ruined his family, allegedly. You know, that's something we haven't focused on enough, because he's really trying to say that Paul Saladino did this to his family. They caused his family to stop. You know? Oh, yeah. We also just learned that he literally, in official court documents, tried to sue the Illuminati. So there's also that. Like, how can you not find that fascinating and interesting today? Is Paul Saladino the man who says he'd lock you in his basement to lose weight? No, that's Dr. Kenberry. You're thinking, which, like, to be fair, I think Dr. Kenberry also makes similar content, just so we're on the same page.
So, what this guy Saladino was doing was exactly this. He filed a lawsuit to impede my freedom of speech because he didn't like what I was saying about him. But that's my constitutional right. I can state fact and opinion. That's perfectly right. However, this corrupt judge is a liar. And
well, you can't
has no problem
slander
with me. He's
him.
saying what I haven't been given any chance to participate in this lawsuit whatsoever.
What do you mean?
And then the tortious interference, you know, serving documents and legal stuff.
Have you not filed claims? Have you not? What do you mean?
Family involved, forcing me to lose my job, messing with other business assets that aren't relevant to this lawsuit. And then the other new thing added was misuse of the Lanham Act, because I technically have rights to that domain name because I purchased it and did not use it unlawfully, yet the court has seized the domain from me. They just stole the domain name.
Well, Diva, it's literally that man's name. You literally made a domain name with his name in it, and you said, no big deal.
So, conclusion, there are multiple acts of legal malpractice, court misconduct, and violation of rights that have occurred in this lawsuit that are grounds for dismissal. Frank Tufano requests that he be given a fair trial and that his side of the argument be heard, whether this means that the case has to be backtracked for the initial default filing, or the case be completely dismissed and the plaintiff may bring a new filing. I mean, this is just crooked as hell. I filed, like, literally 5, like, motions to disqualify against the judges in this case. And it's actually funny because a motion to disqualify is when you request that the judge be removed because they're biased against you. But guess who makes that decision? The judge. The judge that you're saying is biased against you gets to decide whether or not they're dismissed from this case.
Diva, but in what ways? It sounds like the only way for you to think that they're not biased against you is if they ruled in your favor. And like agree with the court system or not, like the judge's job is to decide responsibility, you know? Like I don't understand.
How funny is that? So that's why we file an appeal to the higher court, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, and hopefully get this garbage thrown out before they do any other crooked stuff. Because the issue I had is these people aren't playing by the rules. So he's getting other entities and claiming that's my income. So if this guy is able to basically say that Google earned $5 billion, that's Frank Tufano's income. What other crooked stuff is he going to do if the court issues him a judgment? This guy sent, this guy David Lynn sent a subpoena for a closed business entity. The Frankie's Free Range Meat LLC was my business in New York. That was shut down. It's closed. It's gone. He used that subpoena to get documents from businesses that weren't even in my name and linked them to me unlawfully. They're not mine. So if the judge is allowing him to do that, I don't know what other crooked stuff he's going to do with the judgment. So that's the main thing that's why I'm completely over it.
You lost me. Is he also saying that he doesn't have a business called Frankie's Free Range Meats? Is he saying that? Grass-fed meats. Frankie's Free Range Meat. Info at frankiesfreerangemeat.com. Like, does this have an about section where it says, like, copyright free range meat fulfillment services? Huh. So did he just make a different LLC? Lots of questions on my end. Lots of questions still on my end. Oh yeah, Forrest, you need to go get the full lore. He sells meats. He's saying he doesn't have his Frankie Strange Meat LLC. I think that was just a mistake. I think he said free range. I think the captions just misheard him. I did see that that's what the caption said. But I think he said free range.
This guy, David Lynn, sent a subpoena for a closed business entity. The Frankie's Free Range Meat LLC was my business subpoena for a closed business entity. The Frankie's Free Range Meat LLC was my business in New York. That was shut down.
You know what? Also, I don't know, divas. No, because I just looked up the actual case, and it's Paul Saladino v. Frank Tufano and Frankie's Free Range Meat LLC right here. See? See? Right here. Right here. It's right there. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? What are even the words you're saying? I'm so enchanted right now. Forrest, there are two other videos on my re-upload channel about this guy where he talks about his freezers not working at his meat fridge. Damn, I fear some guy misreading and misinterpreting dry law might not make for the best entertainment. Carly, I'm gonna allow you to say that only because I said you weren't funny today. I'm gonna say that only because I said you weren't funny. So, you know what? I'm open to criticism. Actually, though, I think I made it entertaining, but listen, maybe I haven't. Maybe Miss Rosie's correct. Maybe my streams are boring.
Closed. It's gone. He used that subpoena to get documents from businesses that weren't even in my name and link them to me unlawfully. They're not mine. So if the judge is allowing him to do that, I don't know what other crooked stuff he's going to do with the judgment. So that's the main thing that's why I'm completely over it. And that's the main thing you guys have to understand. There's no legitimacy to this court system whatsoever. And once these people are caught disobeying their own rules, what the court's supposed to do, once these people are caught, they don't care. They just pretend, they just ignore it. They literally ignore what you said and just say some other stuff. If you ever point out anything to a judge that's misconduct,
okay, I'm over that. I do want to read some of this to you all, because this case, just like the regular terms of it are kind of crazy. Okay. The following facts are taken from plaintiff's FAC and deemed true for the purposes of this motion. Plaintiff is Paul Saladino, is a licensed physician and a certified functional medicine practitioner through the Institute of Functional Medicine. I don't know what the fuck that means. Plaintiff is the owner of all common law rights to Paul Saladino trademark, which he uses in commerce and on the internet. Plaintiff created and registered paulsaladinomd.com in October of 2017.
Love my cream of wheat.
Boring.
Rim job chart. Shut up. Enhance? I guess this is as good as it gets. This is as big as I can make it. The part I wanted to get to, wait, this website's kind of trash. Can I say that? Wait, maybe I can download it. Is this a... Ooh, I can. Ooh, I can open it up in Adobe. This will be better. This will be better. Now, I didn't ask for that at all. Can you read that better now? Is that easier to read? Maybe not. If you press F11, I don't think so. Okay. This is fine. This is sufficient. This is sufficient. I think this is sufficient. Okay, so he has paulsaladinomd.com in October of 2017 to promote his business. Plaintiff, that is Frank, operates a business under the Paul Saladino. Oh, wait, no, that's still, we're not talking about Frank yet. Sorry, we're still talking about Paul. He operates a business under Paul Saladino trademark, which includes YouTube videos, social media, podcasters, merchandise, and private consultations. Tufano is the founder and owner of Frankie's, a food delivery business. Tufano promotes his business on his YouTube channel. Plaintiff and defendants are competitors and compete for the same consumers, a point I tried to make. Defendants have created and published over half a dozen defamatory videos that contain false statements and misrepresentations about plaintiff and his business. For example, on November 7th, 2019, defendants published a 15-minute video on Tufano's YouTube channel, which features Tufano talking about plaintiff, stating he is the source of plaintiff's diet information and describing plaintiff as dishonest, a thief, and a drug addict. Defendants also published a video which features Tufano stating plaintiff pays people to downvote Tufano's videos and that plaintiff is a longtime drug user. Defendants posted similar videos on February 5th, 2020, October 16th, 2020, October 17th, 2020, October 18th, 2020, October 31st, 2020. Tufano has also written Reddit messages pretending to be the plaintiff that includes links to the videos on Tufano's YouTube channel. Upon information and belief, defendants created and registered the domain name paulsaladino.com on October 23rd, 2020. The website began directing to another website that contained sexually graphic and homophobic images of plaintiff, as well as links to the videos created by defendants on the YouTube channel Frank Tufano. Plaintiff filed suit on November 7th, 2020 against Tufano. On November 11th, 2020, an affidavit of service was filed stating Tufano was served on November 20th, with his answer due by December 11th. After the parties stipulated to an extension, Tufano filed an answer and counterclaim. Plaintiff then filed the FAC on February 16th against Tufano and Frankie's. 2 affidavits of service were filed stating Tufano and Frankie's were both served on March 9th, with their answers due by March 30th. They failed to answer the FAC, so plaintiff filed proposed certificates of default. Alright, so anyways, I just wanted to share, like, the other side of that story. I don't need to help improve Adobe products right now. This wall of text is making me switch off. All you gotta do is listen. You don't gotta read it at all. You don't gotta read it. I read it all for you, Diva. I read it all for you. Alright, a lot of people asked if we could see the comments on this video, so let me take you there. Let me take you to the comments and make them big enough for you to read. Frank will expose the secret society when he makes a movie called Eyes Wide Crop. Now that's mean. This is becoming quite the rabbit hole. Call the police, the FBI, the CIA, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Firemen, Special Forces. Any one of those groups will save and help you. This is a crazy title. They're in your walls, man. Sue him. The reality TV show goes on. You should create some more flyers. You took out a line of credit to donate, giving away money you don't have. What kind of madness is this? Been watching you for several years. So sad that this is where you are now. I'm really pulling for you.
Love my cream all wheat.
Some of you have forgotten this is a learning channel.
Exactly. Exactly. Wait, Carly said, OMG, you guys, I just got a whisper and it was from Zachary. Zachary, well, did you purposely misspell my name? Saying I was gonna get killed if I didn't stop calling the video boring. I didn't say that at all. You can't joke about stuff like that. You can't joke about stuff like that. $1,000 to 33 people. Maybe not a coincidental number. Weren't some of y'all in the chat saying that that was the Illuminati number? That's some number associated with it. I'm really disgusted by Paul Saladino. He literally plagiarized everything from Frank's work. I followed Frank since 2016, and it's pretty clear how these new trends Paul's creating now, even talked about Amish farms, testicles for testosterone, etc. It was all heard at Frank's channel first. When you push a man too far, he has nothing left to lose. Luigi. I don't know the backstory, but when you are posting on a channel under his name, even if you own the domain, would definitely ramp things up, instigate, and prove you were playing some kind of games with him. So Frank made up the testicle science? That's what it's sounding like. I'm one of the people you help. Thanks for all you do, Frank. We love you, buddy. You're not going about this the right way. Oh god, this is such a long comment. You know, Divas, I think that's it. Divas, I think that's all I got. I think that's all we got today. It's so interesting how polarizing this is, because some of y'all are like, this was great, and then there's other people that are like, this was awful, this was terrible. I love when the chat is in conflict. I love it when y'all are in conflict. Anyways, divas. Oh, you want his botch story again? We might have to give it like 6 to 7 business days. Anyways, bye YouTubies, subscribe!